We are live. Good morning, everybody. We are excited you're here, and I'm even more excited that I get to be here with Lisa Myers, and we are going to talk about the pitfalls that small business owners, entrepreneurs, new startup business owners struggle with. So if you know somebody that's starting a business, just barely started a business, thinking about starting a business, or as uh, an entrepreneur, share this message with them because it's going to be packed with value. And I'm going to introduce Lisa here this morning. So Lisa was a business owner for 25 years. She closed her business because of medical reasons, and then she decided to use her expertise to help small businesses and small business owners avoid the pitfalls that startup businesses, home-based businesses, and entrepreneurs typically face. Lisa is on the board of the South Jordan Chamber of Commerce and the chair of the ambassadors team. She's also a published author and speaker. And Lisa's a mom, a grandma, and a wife of 45 years. Lisa, thanks for being here today.
Oh, Matt, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited. And, I just want to tell everybody, get to know Matt. He is just incredible with what he does. And thank you. You've just been a gem to know. And I appreciate your, just your friendship.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate yours as well. Hey, you guys, for those of you that tune into what we're doing here, I'm so thankful you're here. But I just want to remind you, you're going to want to connect with Lisa, and it might be down the road. It might be next week or next month, or you might even know somebody that needs to talk to Lisa. And what we've done partnering with YPC has made it really easy. So go to joinypc.com, download the free app, and then go in and scan her QR code, because what that's going to do for you is it's going to save her in a history so that you can reach out and contact her when you need to find her. And you can't find her searching Facebook or any other way. It's really powerful for you to do that, and you can do it for free. So I recommend you do that. And Lisa, I got a few questions to ask you today that I'm excited to hear your perspective, and I'm eager to learn from all your vast experience. So should we get started?
Sure, go for it.
The first thing I like to know is why do you do what you do?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you.
Right out of the gate.
I know, right? Why do I do what I do? Well, first of all, I was a business owner, and I got out of school, and 90 days later, all of a sudden, I found myself as a business owner. And it was not the smartest thing. It was kind of like the stars, and, had no clue. I had absolutely no clue what it truly meant to be a business owner. What I was creating was a job for myself. And that, we have these ideas of being a business owner that we can command our own time. We'll have a little bit more time freedom. Maybe we can spend more time with our families, make more money, because you're doing all the work and the business owner is making all the money, and you're thinking, all of these questions. And what I found was I was working overtime. I was overwhelmed, and I was stressed out. I felt alone. I had no support. I really didn't know who to talk to or where to go. And usually when you're starting out in business, your funds are very low. And I racked up credit card income, credit card billing that overstressed me. Sure. Right. And I was getting deeper and deeper in debt, and I was scared. I didn't want to lose my business. I didn't want to be a failure. And I remember my husband, when we got a loan on our house for me to buy this business, right? He said, I better not lose the house over this. And so I was like, I don't want anybody to, I don't want to let anybody down. And I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know. And you work all day, and I see this with other business owners, and you work all day, you're stressed out, and then you come home and the family expects you to be present, and you're tired, and you're still got more work to do. right? You still have paperwork to do. You still have administration work to do. You still have, and so you're living from a world of reaction.
So what I've heard you say and what you told me why you're doing what you're doing is because of all that pain and stress that you went through. You want to share all your wisdom and experience to help the youth of today, the new business owners, small business owners that are just getting started, avoid all that trouble.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The one thing I realized is that when you're just getting started, most people don't want to talk with you yet, because they're like, oh, you're too small to talk with. Wait until you go to a bank, you're talking to a bank. They want to know how many assets you got. They want to know, are you making over $1 million? Are you, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm just getting started. Right. And so, what I found over the years was there's a lot of people that take advantage, of the small business owners. And, and it hurts. But I also have found some amazing resources. I found some free resources. I found some others that helped me that I wish I would have known when I first started.
Boy, don't we all say that? I wish I knew what I knew now when I was 20.
Exactly, right?
So these small business owners, entrepreneurs, even people like real estate agents and, home-based business type things, what kind of challenges do they face?
Well, a lot of times the facing is that I think a little bit is undisciplined. We have to get out there and we have to present ourselves. Like they say, people buy from the people they know, like, and trust.
Right.
Right. And especially if you're the technician and now you're the business owner, you like being behind the scenes doing the work. You love the work that you're doing. You just wanted to make more money. Yeah. And what you don't realize is now you are the face of your business. And what does that look like, right? How are you presenting yourself? How are you getting out there? You have to get out there and you have to drum up business. Like we say, it doesn't matter how much you know. If you don't have a client, right? A surgeon is, the knowledge is worthless if you don't have somebody on the operating table.
That's right.
Right. And so you have to know how to attract clients. You have to know how to get those clients, and then how do you keep them, right? Sure. I was very blessed to have clients for over 15 years, which was unheard of.
That's amazing.
And and then also, what does it look? Do I want to expand? I remember one time he was, he did some coaching and so forth, and he came and I told him, I said, for 2 bits, I'll sell you my, I'll sell you my business. And he said, well, instead of you selling it for 2 bits, why don't I come back and let's just have a conversation? And the first thing that he asked me was, what do you want to be when you grow up? I hadn't even thought about that. I just bought this business and I thought, okay, great. And I said, I want to be the biggest and the best. And he says, so what does that look like? And I think sometimes we get into business and we don't even ask ourselves, what is it that I want this business to look like? We're too busy working in the business and not on the business.
Right. So some of the challenges that I'm hearing you talk about that they face is, as a new business owner, there's a lot of things that they need to address that they really don't know about, and they don't have support in place to help them in the event they get in any kind of trouble. So I wonder, what is this, a new business owner, entrepreneur, real estate agent, how would this make them feel? What have they expressed to you in your experience of how this causes them to feel?
I think the biggest is that it's frustration. It's frustration and being absolutely overwhelmed. And they're living from a state of constant fear. Fear of not having the next client, fear of not having the money, fear of not doing the job, fear of the job failing, fear of, and how can you build success if you're always coming from constant fear?
You can't. I mean, I did that too when I did my business too. So that brings me, so I can really relate with what we're talking about here, because I've had some of those same challenges. And one of the things, it starts me to think about, what kind of an experience could I have had? What kind of experience could an entrepreneur, a new business owner have? What do you think?
I think that there's excitement. I mean, when I talk about business in that, I get excited, right? So when I finally realized what it was that I wanted and how it looked, then I was able to settle into that, and I loved. That's why I had amazing clients for over 15 years in my business, because and I loved. I got very focused on what it was that I wanted in my business and how that looked, and it was completely different from where I started.
And would you say that one of the experiences we could have had that would make it better is being able to have people that were in our corner to help us and absolutely ask for their help?
Absolutely. Matt, you and I were just having a conversation, and just having that conversation, it just lights up ideas, right? Where they say where you have one mind, you've got one idea, but when you bring two minds together, you come up with three.
That's right.
Right. And and that's what I am, is that I help people come up with those third ideas that, and I'm your cheerleader. I'm the business, I'm the guide, kind of a support and a cheerleader over my years of experience.
Yeah. How long have you been helping small business owners, entrepreneurs avoid these pitfalls?
I had been doing it for years, really. I mean, because when I had my first business in that, I also had a school where I was teaching technicians to become business owners. So we go through all of the different, aspects of that. I'm aging myself when I say I've been married for 45 years.
That's the fun part, right?
I would say
we know you've been doing this a long time, and what you're talking about.
It's probably a good 20 years. I mean, at least with teaching and facilitating in all different aspects. I was a volunteer for SCORE, which is a government program to help small business owners and so forth. It's a free program. And so I've got a lot of resources, if you will, in my toolbox, as they say. With people I've met over the years, with programs I know, free resources and different ways for business owners to help. So I've got different systems set up that I can really, help them to be successful.
That kind of leads into my next question a little bit. So what are the 3 or 4 steps that you have laid out for your clients for them to avoid all these pitfalls?
The first one is just like the one gentleman did for me a long time ago, is that we sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's kind of that saying, if you don't know where you're at and you don't know where you want to go, then you're never going to get there.
That's right.
And so we just have as a conversation, and then we look at some strategies that are very simple to implement, that are, very cost effective and everything is different, because every business is different, every business owner is different, and also their knowledge of business and so forth is different. So it can't be a cookie cutter program.
Right.
And so we look at, just understanding your specific needs and pointing you in the right direction. And then again, I'm there as your cheerleader and to help, connect. Sometimes we just need to call somebody and have an accountability partner, if you will.
Right. Yeah. And when you were telling me how you had it laid out yesterday when we were talking, I was super excited because it's a very clear conversation. Have a conversation, see where your client's at, be able to understand where they are and see what they need to do next that they can implement in a very rapid way. That's almost and it's all very cost effective.
Yeah.
So that is so helpful because of clarity. And I hope you guys that are seeing this understand how powerful clarity is when it comes to trying to get through the pitfalls and avoid those. So well done, Lisa. One of the things I like to ask is, people hear about this stuff, but what happens if these small business owners, the people you work with, fail to implement some of these stuff? And I think you and I could kind of bounce off some of our experiences of what happened when we didn't do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, like they say, statistically, they say that small business owners don't even make it in the first 5 years, but that's even less than that, and if you do not do self-development and business development and that, then you're going to be where you're at, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. And so if you enjoy being stressed out, overwhelmed, pulling your hair out, no time freedom, your family's falling apart, it comes to the brink of, there's people that have actually committed suicide over business. It's sad. It's like, why? Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be stressed out. Don't be feeling like you're alone.
Yeah.
And that make that phone call. If it's not for me, then reach out to somebody, but don't stay stuck.
Yeah.
Right. Don't stay where you're at, because that's nowhere to be. Yeah.
Because what I noticed, if I didn't do some of the stuff I did because I had mentors or people that I could work with that helped me, I could have lost everything.
Yeah.
Financial wise, and then the ripple effect that follows that. So it's important to follow through on this. I totally agree. So you were telling me yesterday, what are some of the experiences some of your clients have had by implementing some of these strategies that you love to help people with?
So some of some of it is that they've had a clear, really defining where they're going, and the direction. I think that part of it, so working with a gentleman that was just starting his business, we got to sit down and just kind of create a plan. He was able to look at, where he needed to look for financing so that he could move to the next level. So I was able to introduce him to a few people with financing, and then some is like personal development, just working with a few clients on personal development to help them, just a mindset. I remember, talking with a few people on just that accountability of making phone calls, and building clientele. So what we found is that their businesses increased, and then there was just a little bit more sense of direction, and which helped them not only in their business, but in their personal lives as well.
Nice. Good stuff. So kind of a fun question, you and your husband, what do you guys do outside of business? What do you guys like to do for fun? Do you travel? What do you guys do?
So I love hiking. I love, especially now with COVID, my husband has to be really careful. He has pulmonary fibrosis, which is breathing. So, with this COVID and everything that's going on with COVID, he has to be extremely careful. And so I found that working from home, getting out and walking every morning and then going for hikes for me is extremely. For my husband, because he's kind of a little bit, has to be careful, we actually bought him a slot machine. And so for Father's Day, we've been wanting to do it for years, and he is thoroughly enjoying his slot machine.
That's awesome. And we do live in the greatest place to hike. I mean,
oh my gosh,
really like minutes away, right?
Absolutely.
So
It's beautiful. Yeah.
living here, which we'll keep that a secret. So Lisa, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. You guys, I highly encourage you to go to joinypc.com, download the free app, scan her QR code so that when you need to talk to her, you can easily contact her, because YPC has made that really, really easy for you guys to do that. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to me, and you can reach out to Lisa. She's happy to help you with that too. And one other thing, maybe you guys know somebody that wants to get their message out to more people. So if you do know somebody that is looking to do that, have them reach out to me, and let's see if what we're doing here is a really good fit for them. So Lisa, again, thank you for your time. Thanks for being on here today. And I'm excited to learn some more about you.
Thank you, Matt. It's been amazing. I appreciate it.
Have a great day, you guys. We'll see you next time.